For many, the idea of opening up a brand new restaurant during a global pandemic might not seem like a good one. While businesses are being shut down, some are doing just the opposite. Let's take a look on what it's like to open up a brand new restaurant during a nationwide pandemic. Some schools will soon be back in session. Monday night during the Lowndes County Board of Education's meeting, the 2020-2021 reopening plan for Lowndes County schools was approved with a 5-1 vote, but many have questions and different opinions on if students should be returning at all. In today's current times, with nationwide protests, there has been a lot of tension between the police and its citizens. To continue the trust between the police and the communities, the Valdosta Police Department has announced their 32nd Police Citizens Academy, and the program is more important now than ever. Hello and welcome to the home edition of News Valdosta. And keeping up with social distancing guidelines, we're broadcasting from the safety of our homes. I'm Danisha Branham. Valdosta's airport will continue to improve their passengers' need and accommodate with the changing times. This is Danisha Branham reporting for News for Valdosta. For many, the idea of opening up a brand new restaurant during a global pandemic might not seem like a good one. While businesses are being shut down, some are doing just the opposite. Let's take a look on what it's like to open up a brand new restaurant during a nationwide pandemic. El Paso's Taco and Tequila is open for business in downtown Valdosta. Roy Chavez is joint owner of the food chain and says that opening up now was the best thing they could have done.
Well, the reason why we had to open was, we have a lease. We signed the 5-year lease, and we're paying rent. You know, it's kind of tough paying rent and being closed. And we had already hired employees. We had already had staff ready to go, so we definitely had to pull the trigger and just open. But thankfully, I think it was a good choice. We've been fairly busy. We've gotten a great response with the city of Valdosta, and we appreciate everything.
During COVID-19 times, running a restaurant can be a challenging one. He says he's had to make changes to the restaurant since opening to follow CDC 6-foot spacing guidelines.
I ended up installing what do they call them? Social barriers. They're just pieces of plexiglass, really. Separating the tables. We separated the tables at least 6 feet apart, or as far as we can get, really.
With restaurants across Valdosta seeing closures due to the spread of COVID-19, he says that they are following all state and CDC guidelines thoroughly to protect his customers as well as their workers.
I put the plexiglass separators, social barriers. We definitely separated the tables as far as we can go. Above all else, all of our employees, they're all wearing masks.
It's no doubt that we are living in uncertainty when it comes to COVID-19. But one thing that is for certain is that all restaurants are doing their best at following CDC guidelines and regulations and doing their best to prevent the spread of the virus. I'm Danisha Branham reporting News for Valdosta. In today's current times, with nationwide protests, there has been a lot of tension between the police and its citizens. To continue the trust between the police and the communities, the Valdosta Police Department has announced their 32nd Police Citizens Academy, and the program is more important now than ever. To be a part of the program, you must be 18 years of age and undergo a background check. The Citizens Police Academy will begin September 10th through November the 5th.
The main focus is to get the community to come to the police department and see what police officers do every day. When you leave this program, you will know everything that officers go through.
The program will consist of a tour of each department, a ride-along with a patrol officer, and even having the opportunity to have a crime scene set up for them to solve.
So we work with the community side by side, and we have for over 20 years. And you get more stuff done because, we are servants of the community. And so this lets us interact and helps to make everybody comfortable with dealing with us. In the beginning, this badge is scary for anybody that gets pulled over or is having to deal with police in a negative manner. And when you come into these programs, you just get to see how everybody's just normal people. They're your neighbors. It's just a great program, and any of these community-oriented programs that we do are just fantastic.
Citizens who are interested need to contact Captain Carrie Williams for an application. The class is limited in size and applicants are selected on a first-come basis. Reporting for News Valdosta, I'm Donisha Branham. Some schools will soon be back in session. Monday night during the Lowndes County Board of Education's meeting, the 2020-2021 reopening plan for Lowndes County schools was approved with a 5-to-1 vote, but many have questions and different opinions on if students should be returning at all. The reopening plan for Lowndes County schools was approved and includes a face mask mandate. Mother Monica Jackson doesn't think it's enough to send her child back to school.
First off, my child is 5. She's not going to keep a mask on. I know that for a fact. So I just don't see how her going in a space with all of these little bodies, all of these kids who get sick and just don't keep their mask on, I don't see how they think this.
To increase social distancing, entry and exit points will be designated, but even teacher Misty Rowland has mixed feelings on school starting back.
I kind of have mixed emotions about it. I'm ready to go back to work. I really am, because I've been home. I'm a little stir crazy. It's kind of mixed feelings, I guess, about it. So I really couldn't say. I do feel like it might be better to wait to open, but if we don't, I'm not totally against that either. So it's okay.
It has been confirmed that schools are set to begin on August the 7th and teachers are set to return on August the 3rd. Students do have the option of signing up for the traditional face-to-face teaching or signing up for virtual classes. The deadline, however, is on July the 28th to sign up for virtual classes. Reporting for News Valdosta, I'm Donisha Branham. Stated in a recent article, Georgia ranks number 2 for identity fraud. The biggest victims of scam is usually between the ages of 18 to 24, which makes up the population here at Valdosta State. I spoke with the operations lieutenant here at Valdosta State Police Department to understand why that age range is the highest risk for scams.
Many reasons. One of the big reasons is because as a new college student, they are probably on a lot of lists already. So they're getting contacted from legitimate companies wanting to sell them anything from computers to textbooks, credit card applications. So they're getting all this anyways.
He also provided tips on how the community and students can avoid being a victim of scams.
Question every telemarketer call. That's the biggest thing you do is question the legitimacy of the call. And there's several ways you can do this. When you get a call from somebody who is questionable, first of all, they're not going to request any personal information. They're not going to ask for you to tell them your social security number, date of birth.
With Georgia ranking second in the country, students in the community should be cautious on providing their personal information over the phone or through emails. Reporting for News Valdosta, I'm Donisha Branham.